think it was Puerto Rico that took the lead on this. And I've been pushing for this, and I think they are, in a more mature position than us here in the Northern Marianas in how to transition from fossil to, in this way, clear energy, and they need to get that ruling out of there.
The Inflation Reduction Act is expected to pass the U.S. House this weekend and make it to President Biden's desk for signing. Sablan says it's a pared down version of the Build Back Better Act. A key difference, the act removes a rule that banned the renewable developers from wind energy leases in the territories. Eric Melito is the president of the National Ocean Industries Association, representing offshore energy in wind, oil, gas, and carbon sequestration for the past 50 years.
It's actually more of a historical remnant of the way the statute was originally set up. This goes back to the 50s when they first defined what a submerged land is, and it was defined that back at that time to be waters that were off U.S. coastal states, and it didn't include territories, and it just was never changed.
Now that it's changed, the Interior Department will conduct a feasibility study for the territories before any projects break ground.
That's a process that may take 5 years before we get there, but it's with this language in the bill, it's a start. It's a start for the transition from oil, diesel to clean windmill energy. Saipan has what, 45,000 people, if not less. I don't know if there's, a market ready enough to take on this endeavor. But if it is, and the federal government can help, this is where it starts.
Melito says that start requires aggressive government action.
In order to make this happen, it takes a lot of work on behalf of your government to attract it and to kind of make that part of your power generation network. So what we've seen in the Atlantic coast is that those states have taken independent action to require offshore wind within a certain amount of time to be put into their power grid.
The legislative change allowing that to happen, he says, is long overdue.
The legislative authority is critical for the industry to begin looking at areas in places like Guam and other territories to potentially actually make the investments, but also for the territorial governments to begin taking seriously this as an investment opportunity and an opportunity for diversifying the energy in your backyard.
And what could our backyard look like?
When you look at a island like Guam, it could be a relatively simple and straightforward project where you could have floating wind turbines, which it's a new technology, but it's coming along rather quickly. There are projects in Europe that are taking off when it comes to floating wind.
That would require drawing investors and for utility companies to find ways to build infrastructure to tap the wind farms offshore.